Hello, hello, hello. Okay, so you can't hear the fan, but you can't hear the background music. And I can hear you. You can't hear yourself, but I can hear you. Hello. This morning, I attempted to record again, pretty much. I had a commission for a visual novel style. Hi. I had a commission. Hi. Hi. um, I had a commission. Oh my god. Okay. Thanks for subscribing to me. There's nothing happening though. Seriously. Um, mm, no, I need to switch over so I can also stop hearing the buzzing in real time. Okay. Um, what was I saying? I got up. Oh, right. I have a commission for a visual novel style piece, and I've been putting lots of energy into that lately. Um, I want to do one good one before I'm done. And then I have one more commission after that. Visual novel, yeah. So on my Kofi, when I did the commissions, it was back when I was big into drawing. And I was like, I will charge them, $5 to make it a visual novel style where they can, you know, um, see the character move and stuff. But since then, I feel that I'm less enthusiastic about drawing. As you guys know, I go through my waves of enthusiasm, no enthusiasm, enthusiasm. I'm actually doing right now, fairly stable. I think I can finish like 1 to 2 art pieces a day. But continuity between my art pieces is so difficult for me. You can see it even on like when I do multi sketches. I have a lot of trouble making him look like the same person, even if I draw the body in proportions the same and I do the eyes the same way and the nose and the mouth. It's just something about the placement. I could never get it right when they're like turning and looking around and stuff like that. Um and so it's been difficult. It's been difficult. Um yeah, it's just been like that. It's been having that thing. Is the weather nice enough to go on a walk? Let me see. Is it? No, it's about to rain. And it's 30, not 30, 13 mile per hour wind. And it's already 75 degrees. It's hot, it's about to rain, and it's windy. I don't want to go outside. What does it feel like out there? Oh, okay. Well, that makes me feel better. It feels like 73. If you can tell, that don't make me feel any better. Um, yes. This morning I was watching a video on a Twitter alternate reality story. And you may be thinking, not Twitter, TikTok, and you may be thinking, Vin, why weren't you watching the original? Well, it was because it was made with AI, but the video going over the lore wasn't, so. Um, it was called Angel Engine. It was pretty interesting. I think I did see it before, like way back when, like 2024 or so. After I saw like the first TikTok or two of it and was like, oh, this is AI, and then never picked it up again. But apparently, the creator of it really does want to create like manga style stories and stuff, and that's just their passion. And they really just, for no reason at all whatsoever, can't develop any skills or anything. So I don't know. They had all their fingers broken in a tragic motorcycle accident, so they can't learn to draw. Um, or voice actor or collaborate with free voice actors that are like pretty much desperate for to do any sort of starting voice work, right? So they've had to use AI this whole time. Um, but I saw recently that they apparently are working with some artists, some manga artists, to try to get it done, and it was pretty interesting. Do you guys want to know about the premise? I can hear you speaking, by the way, so don't hesitate to speak. Hmm. Yeah, it does. I hate when, um, God, it's gonna be annoying to me, but I'm gonna have to do it. I hate when the creator behind something is like clearly very passionate about it. Like the creator is clearly very passionate enough for them to let their work continue on for like it's 3 years. Like it's 3 years of work, so I can't imagine that they're using it for like a quick cash grab. Hello, hi, how are you doing? I can't imagine that they're using it for a quick crash cash grab like AI Fruit Love Island or whatever. That was like very obviously a cash grab, and the creator was like skizzing out over money and stuff like that. But it seems like this person really fucking wants to make something cool and just, I don't know, I guess they can't achieve their vision with their own mind or like with their own hands. So, you want to know about the plot? Angel Engine. The plot is so crazy, so good, and I just realized I could be closer to you guys. So give me 1 second. Um, I could be red, or I could be yellow, I could be blue, or I could be purple, but I'm not. I'm black. So, um, hello, can you work? Now's not the time for you to decide you want to skizz out on me. All right. Now that I'm much closer to you and in your face, and you're forced to look at me when I'm talking to you. Basically, the plot of Angel Engine goes like this: humanity in the future, but it was actually kind of set in like semi-modern day, so like 2033. Humanity in the future managed to kill off all the animals, all the plants, and all that's left is humans and in cities, right? Like we managed to destroy the world, which honestly not new, not interesting, not crazy. Like that's been the plot of a lot of things for a long time now. But what happens is when they destroyed everything in the world and there was not much else to do because rampant stuff like rampant famine and stuff was taking over the world, they started praying. Thank you for subscribing. uh when all of this happened, humanity turned to like praying. Like so they started like praying, pleading, begging to God. Like mass religion took over the world and everybody was praying, God come save us, God come save us, God come save us. So the down came one of the like core angels, whose name I'm blanking on right now. So give me a second. I'm gonna have to look up like the like upper echelon angels. um, yeah, archangels. That's what they're called. I don't think it was Raphael, but it I'm gonna go with that because I can't remember what that man's name is. Uh, See, there is 12 of them. What the hell? Oh, of course they would start vacuuming right now. And of course my internet would be tweaking. Why would it not tweak at a time like this? Why would it not? It's just so crazy. Uriel! Finally. Okay, so if you're still with me, one of the archangels, one of the archangels comes down, and he basically is like, be not afraid, and I'm here to help you, right? And so as he comes down, humanity does start to improve, but essentially they start to improve. Yippee! Let's go. Yalla. um as humanity starts to improve, we see that the improvement is not because they're listening to the angel or anything. It's because essentially they captured the archangel Uriel and put him in a machine called the Angel Engine, right? They captured him, put it in a machine, and basically started. They realized that if they used him as an energy source, they could perform miracles. They could live for hundreds of thousands of years. Like humanity could go onward by imprisoning and torturing an angel in a machine. Right. So that's what we're doing. All right. So, um, I as it kind of goes on, and it's kind of more of a cryptic creepypasta or cryptic horror situation where everything's kind of like vaguish, but from what could be pieced together, it's basically like there's this scientist who was like supposed to lead on humanity or whatever, and he was the head of his generation. They crowned him as the top, and then he faded into obscurity, and so he was really needing to get back on his top shit, right? He was like, I cannot take L's. It is, but I always feel like slightly disturbed and unsettled every time. It just feels a little too realistic to me. I don't know. I really do believe that if there was a God out there who came to Earth to help us, we would legitimately find a way to commodify him. I do not trust humanity. I don't. Just let that shit die. It's over, bro. GG. If it comes down, it's over. It's over for all of us. We're evil. Evil as shit. Evil as shit. Okay. Even if it's an evil god, bro, flee. Flee. We're still evil as shit. I'm not entirely sure the government wouldn't find a way to like commodify zombies. They would turn us into zombies just to enslave us, bro. I don't care. I have no faith and hope in humanity, bro. Exactly. But basically it's like he came down and he had this all this faith and hope in humanity. And we see this doctor and all his hubris is like, instead of just listening to the angel who is here to help us save the lands, why not just save it ourselves by siphoning off his literal life? So he is imprisoned in this angel engine, and they basically drain the life from him to perform miracles and improve the world and stuff like that. Well, we begin to see another entity sort of controlling behind the scenes, and it's basically like a demon. It's a demon who's working for the devil from the Bible, and he has a little bit of a hand in this going on. Like it's shown that he has like he's whispering in the ear of the United States government, and at this point, I'm not even disappointed when the U.S. is painted as a villain in stories. I'm like, that sound like us. That sound like some shit we do. The funniest part is that what they call is the second Tower of Babel, right? I believe. Uh, they the second Tower of Babel is somewhere like in fuck ass Italy or something like that. It's in the EU, right? Is it? But the devil is whispering in the United States government ear. Cause where else would he be? Where else would he be? Honestly, fair enough. Shit. It's never. It's not all of America, but it's always America. God damn it. Um, And so we'll see why this is important later, right? But basically, it just shows that he has a hold on the United States government, making the government a little bit more evil, a little bit more vicious, a little bit more propaganda-y. He's spreading that propaganda around, which honestly, real. That's exactly what happens in America. Thank you. Um, but we see the angel calling out for help every time they like show him, and they start heralding this scientist as like the second coming of Jesus. Basically, they're like, the man who is saving the world, like drawing parallels to him and like God himself. And so as this is going on, he's like, well, if you come to my Tower of Babel, we can secure you for a good future, We can get you in good if you come over here and work for us and agree to our experimental trials. Now, never have there ever in history ever been a statement experimental trials and good in the same fucking sentence and it been true. Let's all just clock that together. It don't matter who says it. If they're like, we're going to do these experimental tests and they're going to be good for you, I'd be like, where can I get out of here? We just need you to sign this little bitty way. I ain't signing shit. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I could be on the cusp of death sitting rotting in a prison cell. I would rather die there, bitch. We can let you out if you let us run these totally safe experimental tests on you. Never. I just know that shit finna lead to the world's most inhumane suffering that I have ever experienced in my lifetime. I just know it. You could smell that bullshit. Literally. Literally. Um, and so basically they started, you know, inviting people in for these to be in their experiment, saying it'll set them up for the future, that they'll be researchers and scientists. And it basically immediately cuts away to them doing inhumane tests on people that causes them to die and or warp, that leaves them distorted in body, mind, and spirit, because they're, I don't know, probably injecting people with angel blood or something and trying to keep them alive for long enough. Uh, it does. The image is actually very haunting for what does happen to the guy. There's like these tentacles that start like writhing under his skin. There's like pictures of his like flesh eroding away. There are like holes in his body. Like it fucked him up. It fucked him up real bad. That was like one of the patients, but like almost everybody who's in contact with the angels situation is just gets fucked up. Right? Because ugh, obviously. Um, and so the whole time the doctor is working on these experiments, the world is like heralding him as a hero because of what good does come out of it. Like to continue to do these experiments, he has to produce some good results. So he does prove some miracles, right? He does. I haven't seen either of those. Is that bad? Um, he does do these small acts of miracles, like finding out how to bring people back to life, like fully back to life. However, we're like shown that these people are a little bit different. That's gonna be important. So, as he's getting ready to unveil a new result of his horrible experimentation on the angel, right? And I just feel like it was a little unrealistic that ain't nobody else trying to steal this angel off this man. But I guess he's got the world's top mind behind him, or I don't know, got the government in his pockets or something. Um, uh as he's about to unveil a new experiment, and tensions are rising between people, because this is a very divisive thing to do, to imprison an angel. He steps outside, and essentially there's someone who's like, God is coming, and then shoots him to death, and he's dead. He's killed. Now we find out what happens to his soul after he's killed through cryptic bits and pieces, but for the sake of telling a cohesive story, I'm gonna come back to what happens to his soul. After he's shot, his right hand man steps up, and he's like, well, we're gonna find a way to bring him back to life. Obviously, like, he was a revolutionary. He was Jesus leading us. He was Moses leading us to the promised land. Like, we need him back to life. Um, and you get the feeling from how cold, unemotional, and full of like businessman like mannerisms he's displaying, that man does not actually believe shit that he's saying, but he does want him back, right? And so they're like, we're gonna bring him back, we're continuing on with his experiments, his legacy needs to live on. But as they're doing experiments to bring him back, essentially he's not being brought back. And this will tie into where he went, but for the time being, you would think that he's not being brought back, because God said, why the fuck would I bring that bitch back? God is like, what? We find out this is not the case. Anyways. So a little bit of time passes. A group kind of emerges in the wake of the, um, you know, a group of people arises in the wake of his shooting, and being like, maybe they had a point. Like, God would not like this. Think we're kind of fucking up here, right? But they end up resurrecting the scientist who trapped the angel Uriel in the machine. And the angel Uriel, who's still begging for help, pleading for help, and asking them not to do this, and saying that he loves humanity. Really, truly an angel. Because me personally, I'd look at them and be like, all y'all are going to be doomed to eternal hell, and I hope you enjoy every minute of it. I hope when your soul is screaming and crying in torment in hell, that you're like remembering your actions and you're being haunted. I hope that every night you go to sleep, you dream of your loved ones burning and writhing in hell. Like, really, truly, I would never be no kind of angel, because I am spiteful. I am full of it. Even if they released me at the point where I'm like degenerating, because you can see the angel start to like degenerate over time. Like, it strips away his angelicness, right? Bitch, I would never get to that point, because I would be done with you instantaneously. But then again, I wouldn't go to hella back for humanity in the first place. I'd be like, let them bitches burn. Me personally, goodbye. Ooh. Anyways, the good ones will go to heaven anyways. Like, so what's the point? Just let it burn. Just let it burn. They resurrect him, and he's resurrected, but he's not quite the same. And we see what comes back is essentially basically the Antichrist, but in his body. And this is when we find out that actually when he died, the reason he got shot is because Literally, literally. I come down and say, be not afraid. I'm here to help you. And you imprison me. I don't want to help your ass no more. I want to see you down. Hello. Hi. I want to see you down. I want to see you gone. I want to see you writhing and suffering in pain. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Your ingratitude would be the first and last straw for me. Me personally, I would be like, listen, God didn't even want your bitch ass. Which is true. Uh, anyways, we see that, and basically, it turns out that when the person who shot him actually may or may not have been a warrior god, less likely based off of what I'm gonna say later, but they were inclined and possessed by a higher power to shoot and kill him. And when the scientist's soul died, it was captured and held in hell by the devil from the Bible, and tortured essentially until it broke, and then they were able to resurrect him as the devil. You would see a lot of society doing this. I feel that a lot of, even like a lot of religions could easily become corrupted by just the idea of it. And I really don't like to say that, but just like, because the message gets warped. I don't understand how it got warped, but presuming that not everybody in the world saw the angel at the same time, they're like, the angel actually isn't suffering, which is what they actually do in the thing. He's like, yeah, ignore the angel screaming for help. It's nothing. That ain't nothing. And people just believe that because the angel was here to help, but I don't think it helped by sacrificing itself. But then again, there was a bunch of sacrifice in the Bible, so we never know. But we did know, and it was not good. And so he was trapped in hell, being tormented until his spirit broke, and then the devil was able to come back in his body, or some sort of like strong-willed demon, I can't really a clue, was able to inhabit his body and to continue to spread like evil. However, part of his soul did still come back with it, and I guess because if the demon had come back alone, it probably wouldn't have been able to inhabit the body for long or something. I don't know. I don't really know how that works. I am assuming, based off of the experimentation with the angels, that some creatures of divine higher or lower origin cannot inhabit human bodies per se. Like that is bad for them. It's not good for the human body. So I'm assuming that's what happened. And we do see that he will eventually warp and change into a different creature because of this. However, for the time being, the doctor comes back and it's very obvious he don't want shit to do with what's going on. He has very little control over himself and his body and what he's doing from this point on in the story. But when he does have control, he is essentially hysterical, remorseful, and basically in a state of complete and utter despair, because he knows that he will never be allowed in the gates in heaven. This man will never see heaven in his life. He will never know eternal rest, and he's doomed, most likely the rest of humanity, to also never know eternal rest and to suffer for all of eternity by inviting in as many demons as possible. And so he's still acting as a figurehead for his right-hand man, who is just some sort of evil politician-based guy. I can only assume that's his motivations. He ain't got no life in his eyes, but he also ain't got no demons on his shoulders, so he just evil, right? The bitch is just evil. That's it. And so he's doing these press releases and these tours, and he comes back to unveil his second invention. And basically, we're shown that from Uriel, he was able to create a false angel, like a mechanical angel, to do his bidding. And this thing is also suffering. Like it is suffering. It is brought alive, and it experiences nothing but pain. And this is also the soul of one of the demons that have been lurking around during the story. It has now like become a part of this thing. Um, it's important to know that this thing also has no like sense of morality or anything at all. It is essentially alive and in pain, and it knows nothing else. There is a machine that is behind him that is telling them stuff, but you will get to that later. So they start parading this machine around. Say, oh, it's important to know the day that this machine is unveiled, the man who shot the original scientists, he miraculously just drops fucking dead. And it raises a lot of concerns around the world of like, can the false angel basically kill people from a distance? Like, is it that powerful? And yes, it is. And so he essentially is like, you know, this is here to help society. It's here to make society better. This is like good. Well, after the man who shot him dies, the group of people who were like, this is kind of fucked up, this is kind of wrong, turn into more radicalized people, right? As this is officially like something to be afraid of. This is scary. You can kill someone from any place in the world with just a thought. I don't know what that is. You can kill anyone anywhere with just like a thought, right? And so he oh goodness, the people who originally were just anti are now like militant about it, and they don on yellow raincoats because that's what the man who shot him was wearing, and they start calling them themselves the yellow coats, and they're dissenting against this violently. They're like, this is not right. Like, God would not want this. This is disturbing. This is perverse in nature. This is disgusting. And so there starts being like rioting in the streets. And as the rioting has happened, it's basically revealed to us that they didn't make just one false angel. They've made an army of them. And they're designed like weapons. Oh, wait, hold on. There is an incident that happens in between this. And basically there is a newscaster who's on the side of the scientist and his overly evil business companion, and he is talking about the robot and standing in front of it, and the false angel, I gotta keep calling them false angels, Jesus, and the giant false angel puts his hand on the man's shoulder, and the business guy is like, okay, it's gonna be fine, and the newscaster is like, okay, but he's unsettled because it looks weird. It looks creepy. The machine looks creepy, and they don't know what's going on. And it starts to leak fluid on him that consumes him and kills him. And this causes this causes a bunch of people who are not even extremists to rise up as well, to be like, this shit is weird. This is scary. This is don't do this. Like, and that's when we find out that they basically made an army of these fuck ass robots to control people, basically. And this is where the story starts to get even more scary, because now you know that like this shit, they're like preparing for war pretty much. And at the same time, the United States government is talking about how like we need to be prepared for a fight. We need to prepare for a war. Like, a lot of people are gonna die, but this is gonna be ultimately very good for us type shit, you know. The same thing politicians are currently doing, real time. And he, basically, the robots are trying to be most peaceful, asking people to stay back and stuff like that. Because it's a fucking angel, dude. And so sorry, my energy levels are still dropping. The crowd gets like bombed for some reason, It's never explained who the bomber is, but I personally feel like it was either under the impressions of the demons or they were under the impression of the government so they could put like some extremist control measures in place. However, it's never explained why the bombing happens, just that it does happen, and this becomes a good reason to instate it. It becomes a good reason to instate these false angels into the actual governmentary system, because this is what we're trying to prevent. This is what we're trying to stop from happening. So um sorry, I got a message. um Now, a bunch of like small minor things happen. It This is still like backstory for the story, so I guess he really is going the manga method, the author. But um they instate these angels, and a little while later the doctor goes missing, right? He just randomly fucking goes missing. And so now they're like, oh, we have to search for the doctor. We got to search for him in all private and public areas, which includes your house. And this enrages a lot of people because they're like, freedom? Uh, this is like illegal? And so they're trying to not have it happen. Um, but, and the actual angel, yeah, yeah. The actual angel itself is like trying to send out messages to people any way it can, but its powers are being siphoned off, and it is in a like holding cell, so it's not getting very many messages out. But basically it's like, don't let people in, but don't be afraid also, because they feed off of like fear. And don't let them mark you, because once they mark you, they're basically, you're handing over your soul. Yeah, that's not really what they were doing. Like, yeah, they were trying to get them to let the angels into their house, but it's, I don't know, it was more of a control tactic than anything. um so with this happening, essentially, finally, the we have enough like evil that has been able to seep into the world and get around to enough people that the president of the United States basically launches fucking nukes. And before he launches the nukes, he says what is essentially my worst fear of dialogue. He was like, how many women do we have here? Like, do you have any women, pretty much? And then he's like, yeah, launch the nukes. And it launches into the sky and it obliterates everything, and the world is sent into an apocalyptic state. Then we shoot 2,000 years in the future, and the angel is still in the angel engine, by the way. And basically we see that they have managed to establish their new like regime. There are still people who are able to hear the angel's voice, and hear the angel telling them, not to assimilate to this society, so they don't. But a lot of people have assimilated, and we find that they take the children of heretics and eugenics, I don't know. They do some sort of eugenics. So they're all blonde hair, blue eyed, and then they raise them until like 14, mark them and stuff like that. And that's how they've been perpetuating humanity, by essentially creating a giant cult with false angels. Now, and then the hero is one of these kids, and I am not watching Angel Engine, so I have to wait for the creator I was watching to come back off of their like 7-month long hiatus, assuming they didn't die. Please don't have died. And so now we'll start talking about Why, right? So there's something that I didn't discuss this whole time, and it's like, where is God in all of this? And I can finally give you the fucking answer, right? So it's described that in a manga that was created before the series but never actually got published, so the ideas may not be fully canon, that God actually wanted to nuke Earth. Like God was like, humanity hasn't brought anything good. Like, they're not good, they're bad, they're inherently bad and evil, and they do bad and evil things, so they should all die. And the angel Uriel was, with his strong love for humanity, and I think actually the reason why the angel Uriel was used specifically was because if you have ever read the story of Noah's like ark, the angel Uriel was the one who came down and gave Noah the wisdom. He's basically the angel of wisdom. And a lot of the times in the Bible, when an angel comes down and says a wise word to prepare for something bad, you're thinking of the angel Uriel, right? And so he apparently has such a love for humanity that he basically went to God and was like, I don't think humanity is bad. I think that they made mistakes, but please give them one chance. And God says to Uriel, yeah, I'll give them one final chance. And he sends Uriel down to Earth. Now we see what happens after he comes down to Earth, and humanity is evil and unjust, and they imprison him and torment him for all of eternity. And essentially in his pleading for humanity, God also abandoned, forsaken, punished. I don't know if Uriel will be allowed back into heaven, so I can't really say if he's abandoned or not, but he essentially has decided to forsaken Uriel because he went against him. And the last angel who went against God was the devil. And so Uriel in the comic is more upset about this than he is in the AI slop version. In the AI slop version, he says to humanity, I still love you. Please don't do this. Please heed my words. Now, why did all of this happen with the scientist? Like, did the scientist really just have a mind that was able to just capture an angel? Well, no. We find out that the angel machine, the angel engine itself, was given to him as knowledge from an angel who they originally thought was like one of the demons, linking around this man. But what it actually turned out to be was himself from the future. So essentially, after the demon merged with him, he was immortal, but his body wasn't going to last forever. So he himself got imprisoned in his own sort of angel engine. And what is left of his consciousness is living in remorse, regret, and repentance. And he wants to fix what he's done. However, because he can only send a message to his past self, he is sending out these messages. And because he is still corrupt and connected with a demon, the side of him that is still connected to this like demon, hellscape sends back the knowledge of how to build the angel engine machine. So he keeps trying to tell himself in the past, don't build the machine, this is bad, don't do this, like, do not do these steps, do not do this. And every time he goes and he tries to send out this message, the demon takes it and warps and is like, put this together, do this, do that, do this will lead you, and basically feeds upon his hubris to get him to build the angel machine, to say that this is all inevitable because he keeps trying to stop an action that he's directly causing, creating a time loop. And so now, at the point where I'm waiting, the hero of the story, the main character of the story, would be this like blonde-haired, blue-eyed little boy who is sent out into the wastelands that is outside of humanity, basically the entire area that got fucking nuked. Right? And it's filled with monsters who may or may not be the remnants of the angel engine experiments that the original doctor was doing. And it has like some false angels still outside that are kind of evil, and also looking at the sky is bad. And God may be out there coming as in coming to get back his angel and kill humanity like he originally wanted to do. And yeah, so that was Angel Engine. And that's what I spent my morning doing because I was so engaged in it because it's something that's so engaging. And I'm just so upset that they use AI because I want to go and engage with the fandom in the community, but I'm like, ugh, AI user. Oh my god. They were never angels at all. I should clarify. I keep calling them false angels because they're not angels. The only angel that exists in this universe is the angel Uriel, who is imprisoned in the angel engine. They took pieces of Uriel, so think his skin, his blood, his hair, his nails. They stripped him of his angel essence and built machines to and house and be powered by parts of his divinity. And so they're not angels. But in the series, they canonically are called angels because the person who made them wasn't going to call them like anything else, obviously. Um, so I told you in a chronic order, like I told you in the sequence of this happened, then this happened, then this happened. However, the story itself is told in like a jump back and forth perspective. So actually what we see is like the angel Uriel after he's already in the machine telling us what humanity should not, like telling us how he came, what humanity should not have done, and then seeing it play out. And then we'll jump forward to him trying to give advice to the hero, and then backwards into him being in the angel machine, and then we'll jump to the middle where all of these terrible things are happening, and then backwards to, so the story jumps around actually. I told you linearly because I feel that that is the most optimal way of hearing about a story. Like, you never want to hear about a story like that in the way that it's told because it's very confusing. Like, if I were to actually tell you what happened, it would be that we see the angel in the machine fully like denigrated. So 2000 years later, we see him and he's talking to the hero. Then we jump back to him descending to Earth, and then we jump forward to his body degraded in the machine. And then we jump back to the first time that they have an interview with with the scientist, to him pleading for help and the scientist talking about how much good we could do for humanity. Then we jump forward a little bit to when Earth's the United States Jesus, United States president is already infected by the angel and planning to launch nukes on people. Then we jump backwards again to when did we jump backwards to? We jump backwards to the building of the tower to see that it's built upon torture and destruction. Then we jump forward a little bit to see the like human experimentation that happens. And then I believe we jump backwards again. So like we're jumping around a lot. If I'm being honest with you, we jump around like a lot. Basically hinting at the fact that all of this is pregame for what's to come. And then finally, once we get through with all the backstory, we finally get caught up to the hero story and they get ready to set out on their journey. The hero is actually not very prevalent for the majority of what I was telling you about, right? Like he does not exist. He's not born yet. He's not thought of. He's not conceptualized. But we occasionally jump forward to him just to show that he is hearing the voice of the angel, because he is one of the few humans who can hear the voice of the angel left. Hold on a second. My glasses are off. My glasses. Hi, Adane. I was talking about Angel Engine, which was a like horror reality thing that I was, not alternate reality, just like a horror reality that I got caught up in this morning. Super good, super great. Would not actually go support the AI artist, but I hate that. By the way, I hate that there are so many good creative storytellers in the world who are writing such strong stories and then are presenting it through AI, because it's like you're telling me this is amazing, and specifically in the case of Angel Engine, you're telling this amazing story about humanity destroying everything it touched while using humanity to destroy everything it touched because AI is siphoning clean water. Is there? I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. It is. I like the story. I don't like everything else. I didn't see his video. I watched, hold on. It's literally it's there. It's in my history. Uh Catman. I watched a guy called Catman. He had a cat avatar. That's why. Oh, I love cats. Every image you see of it is drawn. Hi. Hi. Sorry, I'm looking into this game. I think it was around like the, I don't know, a couple months in. It was all which AI model was it? Oh goodness. It was one of the popular ones. It was one of the popular image generator AIs, and I can't remember. Jeez. See, I feel that ruins my credibility that I can't remember. Midjourney. Oh my gosh. Oh, at some point the artist started, or not the artist, the creator started using Midjourney. Goodness gracious. I don't know why I was choking so hard to remember the name of the AI. Um Oh, it does have a game. It does have a game. It's already out? Oh, it released on March 6th. It's got a set of mixed reviews. I don't know who I thought you'd play as, but I didn't expect it to be the scientists. I feel that this is a very mixed, this, it feels antithetical to the to the story of Angel Engine for you to play as the scientist. Ever thought of being the worst person? Oh, I can run it on my computer. I'm gonna look at some of the reviews. Saw this game after stumbling on some Angel Engine horror short clips on IG. Those videos about the Angel storyline were just absolutely stunning and creepy, so I got super interested and decided to check it out. This game is pretty repetitive, to be honest, but the whole oppressive atmosphere is straight up chef's kiss. The whole vibe is dark, claustrophobic, and depressing in the best way. If you're trapped in this cold, rusty, futuristic lab with flickering lights and distant metallic groans echoing everywhere. The surgery parts were wild, the sound design is insane, those wet, squelching noises, the unnatural angelic breathing that slowly turns ragged, and the heart monitors gradually going crazy had me getting more and more anxious. Then I'll have to go check the negatives. Let me finish this one. I ended up injecting the paralytic way earlier than I needed to every single time. Oh, but holy shit, when the angel actually wakes up and kills you. Oh, damn. Tough. The jump scare is brutal. Scared the hell out of me. After that, every time I saw the angel starting to store, I immediately slammed the button buddy, too scared to keep going. Pro tip, turn the game volume down. Those jump sounds were a bit, sounds hit way too hard. I genuinely worried about the heart attack. I really appreciate the high tension of the horror game, though. It keeps you feeling anxious and uneasy the whole time, which is exactly what you want from a good horror title. Okay, let's go see these not so positive reviews. Let's go see these bad reviews. The best way I could describe this game is as a FNAF clone with minigames. Oh my god. Oh, they yapping, bro. All right. Let me put my yap glasses on, and the best way I can think of just to describe this game is as a FNAF clone with minigames, but it is not a very good one at that. It mostly draws from FNAF as the game is divided into 6 operations plus 6 bonus modes. During each operation, you must heal a set amount of wounds on a set amount of bodies while managing several different resources. Hi. Should you fail to do so, you get jump scared. On each body you operate on, it is okay. On each body you operate on, there will be a number of wounds for you to heal. To heal each one, you must select the correct tool and perform the corresponding minigame. Meanwhile, you must deal with interferences the body/angel throws at you, such as blowing your fuse box, uncalibrating your tools, or cutting off your power. To counter this, you must perform a minigame for each one as it goes off. I feel like that's a very common gameplay scheme. I don't know. It just seems like that happens in a lot of games where, I don't know, like the mortuary assistant, right? That seems like what are you talking about? It's a FNAF clone. At the same time, each action you take, as well as time passing, will increase the angel's heat level. If it reaches 100%, it's game over. And to counter this, you must, as you might have guessed, perform a mini game. On top of that, the bodies have a sleep level. Once it goes low, it will play a siren, and you must immediately inject more anesthesia into it or you'll get jump scared. To be straightforward, the mini games are ass, extremely repetitive, and RNG will play a factor, as some mini games, mainly the clone stitching one, will either take 3 seconds or be a complete drag on your time. Just like you see in the game's difficulty comes from a huge amount of things it throws at you at once, each one requiring a different minigame to be dealt with, but with no depth beyond that. You unlock all the minigames in Operations 3, meaning Operations 3 through 6 play the exact same, just with more bodies and more wounds. The sleep level is actually just a timer in disguise, since each anesthesia injection increases the body's resistance. There's a set number of injections you can use before the game is over, meaning each body has a time limit for you to heal all the wounds. But looking beyond the flawed gameplay, what else is left? The lore. But no, not really. Between each operation, you get a new access code for your computer, which gives you access to the account's emails. However, instead of new and interesting emails, you get to see each email twice, once from the sender and once again from the receiver. Despite this repetition, the emails don't say anything just really compelling or interesting, instead just bringing a little bit more insight into the workday around the office. In summary, the game is overly difficult and repetitive and does not have any interesting additions to the lore and relies on jump scares for horrors. And then basically they say that the background is interesting. Oh my god, this is so funny, guys. Can't get further than level 2 because the angels are way too sexy. So I just ended up playing with one hand and everything goes just white and Boom! Really good game. Let me crack your EL, please, and I'll give you a lot of money. I think you're disturbed. I really think you're disturbed. We got 5 comments to that. Haha, for real sexy. Yeah. Yeah, they certainly reviewed the game alright. Did the game get review bombed by somebody? Why is there so many FNAF comparisons? That's yeah, one of the comments of all time. There are so many like FNAF, this game is just FNAF comments that I really truly feel like somebody review bombed this game and all of their like little fans ran and was like, this is just FNAF, this is just FNAF. Oh, it tells you when the game was given to people for free. Other than that, people complained about the controls being kind of shoddy. The game being either very fast paced or slow paced, and like not having a functional pause system and having to start over. And yeah. Well, now I'm confused. Because some of the good comments are like, this is FNAF 2. Like, this game is like FNAF, this game is like FNAF. I feel bad for the developer of the game at this point. Like, the bro is living in FNAF's shadow. There's gotta be some level of toxic here. It's definitely not normal. I'll tell you that. Okay. Well, that's all of the interesting thing I had to say about anything today. So let's get into the title of this stream. There is nothing interesting happening. I just can't imagine creating a game that does have its own unique premises and then people shitting on you because you stole, no, you used a very common design, or you used a very common game formatting, right? Like, did they expect man to make a whole new UI for it? Like, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, that's what the stream is gonna be. Nothing is about to happen. Unless, like, a shootout starts outside. Well, okay, so... I guess. I feel like since the creation of the original FNAF game, there have been a bunch of games that feature a nightly format, and then you have to stay alive and do tasks. Like, when you break it down to it, like, if you remove the nightly format, and the tasks are mini games, right? So if you remove the nightly, like, format, then you probably, okay. Remove the nightly format. No, remove the nightly format and it's just the mortuary assistant, right? Remove the mini games, but keep the nightly format. And sorry, I'm trying to think, because I'm trying to think of what you could swap out the things for, the mechanics for. If you switch out the mechanics, it would just be like a surgery game. Or if you switch out the mechanics for quick time events, it would be similar to something like, uh, what is it called? Bro. Until Dawn? I don't know. The spiritual predecessor to Until Dawn. Right. And so it's like, I don't know. I guess you could say there's something to be said about using multiple of those formats or multiple of those things in the same game, but it's just like, I feel like a lot of games are like that. I don't know. In the sense that like Metroidvania is a game category and like Souls like is a game category, I don't think that it should be called a like FNAF ripoff. I don't. I think at this point it should just get its own category for like game mechanics. I hope that makes sense. It was it was uncommon when it came out. I feel that in the years since it's come out, there have been so many games inspired by it that it should just be okay for it to be common now. If you remove the nightly format, it's like Dead by Daylight. I'm sorry, that's better. That's a better comparison. Although you're not being chased around, so maybe not. Hmm. I think that's just the way, like, it seems like a lot of the FNAF comparison comments just comes from mechanics, pretty much. So the fact that there is 6 nights and different mechanics that you learn on the nights, and the fact that you have to survive to a certain time, that's what people are comparing it to. They don't seem to say that the mini games are the same. Um, they're not saying that like they don't think the lore is the same. They don't think the gameplay is the same per se, but they think that the core elements, the skeleton of the game is the same. To which I think the skeleton of the game should be considered a genre of game now. Like they need to give it its own genre because that's what it is. That's what it is. Just like how all rage bait games start to have the same format where the rage bait comes from the fact that like thing happens no reason, right? The concept of rage bait games is something unexpected happens and it causes you to fuck up and it was hard. Um but yeah, their complaint is just that the skeleton of the game could be compared to Five Nights at Freddy's for those bases. But it does seem like the game does have its own unique mechanics, such as having to put the thing under anesthesia. Then you have to operate on it. There's like mini games for operating. You have to make sure that you're doing the right task. You have to make sure that it's not feeling too much pain. They should. I agree. It deserves its own genre. It's just the consequence um of things getting popular, I feel. And so I feel like it's very unfair at a certain point when you know something is popular to then bitch about other things building upon its skeletal foundation or whatever, right? I do think also particularly why it's egregious to also put be like heavily like this is like this is like this is that the game came out so long ago and the differences are vast enough to where I'm kind of in my head just confused mostly. Like I'm like it's been a good 10 years since FNAF came out and the mechanics of the game are different enough. Like the gameplay itself is different enough. So like what is even the point of comparing this? Bro is not getting any hype from the game with a different name and a bunch of different mechanics being like Five Nights at Freddy. Like people are not playing Five Nights at Freddy's knockoffs anymore unless you're like a 5-year old, and I can't say that Angel Engine would be for like 5-year olds. I don't know. I don't know. I do think it's weird that they made a game where you have to survive as the scientists who are experimenting on it, and I do think that it's interesting um that Angel seemingly has more power here than it does in the other in the canon timeline, because the Angel in the canon timeline cannot fucking escape, dude. He cannot catch a break. And I think it's implied that he won't catch a break still, even after the hero comes along. It does. It really, really does. I feel that especially with modern day content, it's kind of hard to not do that, right? Like so much stuff is coming out at any given time. If you're even remotely inspired, everybody knows, and it's like you can't be too similar to anything without being compared. Like you have to exist in your unique third category, and that's just impossible to do. Like you can never ever do that, because we've reached a point where like everything has been done before, save for like a bunch of really rare and outlandish things that we will be the first and last ones to ever see happen and happen. Yeah, but heaven forbid you be inspired by anything nowadays, because you're a clone. You're a ripoff. It doesn't matter if the thing you were inspired by was 20 years ago at this point. Yeah, I guess. I don't I think that truly honestly, even if you change it up, people will still find whatever little similarities there are and harp on and on about it, right? And it's okay. It's the human nature to draw back to things that we know. Like, just inherently humans, like, always want to relate something to things that we know about. Like, we don't want new things. We like comfort, we like repetitive, we like familiarity. But I cannot say that as a creator I would not be bummed out to make something new and innovative and then have someone point out that this is exactly like this thing, but you did change so many things about it, but it's exactly like this thing. Like if I made a world filled with magic, wonder, and all of these things, and I had like wizards going into school and then people were like, this is exactly like Harry Potter, I think I'd be pretty fucking pissed off. Because yeah, I feel like that's a different issue. I feel like that's stupidity. Yeah, man, I'm totally AI. That's why I spend my time struggling paying bills. Yep, yep, definitely for sure. That's why I post my fat ass on Twitter, bro. That's exactly why. It's because I'm AI. I could never be a human behind an avatar. Um, but I just feel like what it is it's reductionist in human nature. If you reduce something down to its base concept, literally anything can fit in that. And I feel that that has become a problem for people who want to create something, because every time you do, especially with the internet being so vast and widespread, it doesn't matter what you create, there will be somebody who will tell you how it's exactly like another thing even if you did change it up enough. And it's very saddening, it's disappointing, but it's just there is no way to be original anymore. In fact, the way that I know that there's no way to be original anymore is people will talk about their lived life experiences that are wacky, like 100 in a million, and be like, one time I was climbing an abandoned railway during a wet storm and I grabbed a power line and a lightning struck that exact power line. But as I was being electrocuted, I fell backwards, tumbled down a hill, and scorched myself in a fire. And then as I like continued tumbling, I fell into a river where a bear found me and somehow carried me back into the city. And somebody else will be like, that reminds me of the time where something similar happened, except for instead of a bear, it was a hunter. Oh, that would be so sad. That would be so sad. That would actually make me cry. That would be devastating to me, genuinely. Um, it's just there's just so much. I mean, truly, that's because animation. I mean, it is, and it definitely can be. But I feel that even if you make it better, people will always reduce it down to its bare bones format and then make the comparison of the bare bones format. And I shit you not, I could tell you, I could make up a story right now off the top of my head and draw inspiration from every single thing I liked. And like show it to a random person and they will draw an immediate comparison. And I definitely can for a fact say that they will do that, because while I was telling you about Angel Engine, you were immediately comparing it to something else. Like it's impossible. It's impossible for humans to do it. Even if you're listening to a completely different story that only shares similar elements, you will reduce it down to its basest features and find a place to compare it to. It's human. It's very human, and humans piss me off. Wow. Caught by yourself. It's just human nature, and I do feel bad for artists, because at the point we exist in life, it is literally 100% impossible to create something that is 100% new and will not be compared to anything else, even where you take inspiration from. And it's funny because, you know, back in the day, people were drawing inspiration from random shit too, like folklore and stuff like that, but they never did get that. And I really think the existence of the internet was probably the reason why we started seeing like more of this. Like I think the bringing about of the internet, like I'm sure it was happening back then too, but with the existence of the internet, now people can be like, oh wait, you know this thing, it's like this thing, and now 100 other people are saying it, and before you know it, you get a representation as a clone. Really, really crazy work. You know what it is? I think my actual issue is that now people can't just say that, oh, I see the inspiration. They have to say that you're copying somebody. Like, you can't be inspired by things anymore. And to that extent, I think part of why it pisses me off is because it happens a lot in like art, with like people being inspired by poses and stuff from other people's art, where like it I one argument that I used to see a lot that pissed me off was, you copied my pose. Bitch, how I copy a stance? Hello? Are you here with me? Are you here present in this moment? Are you are you here with me present? Are we looking and talking to each other? How do I copy the way the human body moves off you? Like, I wish you could see my eye twitching. It really was like that, by the way, if you were wondering. That's quite literally the art trenches. Like, I think it was like last year or maybe the year before, there was a whole discourse going around about somebody copying a pose. What was the pose? It was like this woman's body turned sideways and she was like bent back a little bit. It was like the fucking Sukuna pose, almost, right? Or not the Sukuna pose. What was the name of the fucking bum? The bum ass homeless man with a cut on his lip. It started a bigger argument about if you're allowed to get your inspiration for poses from other people's poses, and like how you should only reference use poses of people in real life. And not like, if you see somebody draw a pose, you shouldn't copy the pose that they drew. You should instead never draw the exact same pose that you've seen before and just go find another. It pissed me off so bad. It pissed me off so bad because what do you mean I can't imitate a pose that I've seen in another drawing? Bitch, you know how much it pissed me. If I want to draw somebody pose like the Mona fucking Lisa, I goddamn will. You ain't got no copyright over how people sit down, bitch. What? What? Do not piss me off. Do not piss me. I'm like tweaking thinking about it. I'm tweaking thinking about it because I remember that the pose was not a unique pose. It wasn't an interesting pose. I know sometimes if you look at a stock photo, you'll find a pose that's interesting, right? Like one time from a stock photo, I saw a woman holding a phone with her foot while she was just doing some weird tweaked up shit with her hands. Like stock photos, they have the weirdest poses ever. But I promise you, the pose that I am referencing was literally like somebody standing with their legs standing in front of each other with a side view of their body and their arms out. How the hell you copy somebody standing? I don't know. 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 I don't think it is. I don't think it is. I don't think I wrote anything about this stream having to do with Fallout either. Unless it's got a game tag on it. It shouldn't have a game tag on it. The stream might have a game tag on it. I'll check. Can you imagine how lame it would have been if back when the like JoJo pose trend was happening, people weren't allowed to draw like JoJo poses because the JoJo poses were in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure and you can't copy poses. I fear that whatever is mentally wrong with you cannot be cured. That is all I will say. I fear that you may need to go get put in an asylum somewhere. You are off your rockers. Yep, I'm gaming, but I'm not in any category. Scroll down. Tags. Gameplay. VTuber. I don't know why you're bringing up Fallout, friend. Which one? The one who tried to copyright her cake pop recipe, but all she did was use like a slightly different ingredient in her cake pops that was a very common ingredient, I believe. Oh yeah, we are talking about the same girl who was like, I'm putting it in a cookbook so it's copyrighted, only to come back and be like, well, I didn't know that the cookbook could only copyright the format of the story and stuff. I remember her. That's really funny. I just feel like we have lost the plot. Like all of humanity has lost the fucking plot on a different level of losing the fucking plot. Nothing would ever get created ever. I'm going to be so honest. The way people design and create things is that they see something, they tweak it, they change it, and then they create something, right? Can you imagine all the fun things we wouldn't have if it did work? Like Scrub Daddy would never exist because Scrub Daddy is just your generic sponge, but like shaped like a smiley face, and then it uses like some different like technology, just a little bit different technology. But Scrub Daddy is a sponge at the end of the day, and because they are a sponge and they use material that sponges use, they would never exist. It's just you know what I think the most funny thing about copyright is? I'm not sure people don't want that. My favorite copyright thing that has happened in recent times. Have you ever heard the phrase hot girls read? Have you ever heard the phrase hot girls read? I'm waiting for your genuine response. What? Oh my god. What? Okay. It's just like a silly little phrase, just like the idea that girls who read are hot, pretty much, right? And it's been around for years. Like the phrase hot girls read has existed for so many years. And it's basically just an inspiring phrase towards girls who read. Because if you remember in the early 2000s, there was so much propaganda about bookworms being ugly and whatever, you know. And so hot girls read. Hot girls can read too, you know. And like, there's this woman who like started reading a year or two ago, and she got heavy into the hot girls reads. And then she started creating merch of it. And then she filed a patent on the name. And she came out basically being like, hey guys, just wanted you to know you gotta stop using the phrase hot girls read because I own the phrase now. And obviously that didn't. Most anti-women propaganda is predicated on the ideas that are given to women that then other women sell to each other. One of the ones that really kept being given to me as a kid, for example, was that women are to be seen and not heard, right? And that I was a very pretty girl, but I should learn to shut up. You can copyright phrases. You can copyright signature catchphrases and stuff like that. That's just the state of the world we live in. But yes, my parents did say that to me a lot, and I never like. I lived in a household that was like 3 women and 1 guy. Yeah. the agency who does copyrights, because nobody else can do it. No, but you can buy a phrase associated with it. That's the kind of stuff that was told to them as children. I mean, if we really want to have this conversation, we can. A lot of the things women tell each other are the things that were told to them as women and young adult, initially by a man, that they then started perpetuating heavily onto other women, because when you learn something is the right way to do something, when other people do something differently, you inherently think that they're wrong. And that's it. That's literally it. The idea that women should be seen and not heard is one of the outdated ones from the 50s that came from the idea that a good housewife should shut up or you should smack her around a little bit, that was extended all the way up until the existence of like my parents, pretty much, because they learned it from their parents, who learned it from their parents, who probably learned it from some outdated textbook idea or religion somewhere, and they never got out of the mindset. And then they impose the mindset on others. And that's for why women are the main ones to tell it to other women, is because historically you taught your child this before they grew up, so they didn't have to go through it. Like, if I did have such an opinionated stance back in the 1950s, I would have had a husband who beat the hell out of me. I would have never gotten married nice. But this isn't the 1950s. Yeah. Outside of that, there's also an inherent desire to drag someone down in a situation where they are perceived as better than you. And I don't think that's specific to women, but that mindset is the same mindset that people had when they used to rat each other out back in the days where things were banned or taboo. I don't really know what to tell you, because I just know for a fact that ain't true. Maybe if you're attractive, you can do that. There's a difference between what you perceive to be an attractive woman doing it and an unattractive woman doing it. And I think my favorite example of that is currently in circulation, modern day, currently in circulation, has to do with that smoking cat girl anime that came out, and how her situation wasn't glorified enough for people to consider her attractive. But even then, a lot of the pressure, the push towards these ideals were based upon the original ideals of a wife. I don't know what to tell you. Like, why are women telling other women they have to be this way to look attractive? Because that's how you got a husband back then. And who else was going to tell you? Certainly not men. That would be weird. I don't even know what I can tell you guys about that. Learned behavior that they pass down, sometimes out of malice and sometimes not out of malice. It's really, it's sad. It's sad and it's true. And I'm sure sorry. Oh, my phone is off. I'm not like facing it. I have to be like looking at my phone for it to capture my face, but I'm not looking at my phone right now. I'm looking at my other phone right now. Yeah, it's not frozen. It's just not picking up my face. Hold on for a second. Here, I can prove it to you. Ta-da. Not frozen. Not picking up my face. I have no idea what that one was. And the thing is I think men do it to each other too. I don't know. Look at all those like gym bros, those him bros. But yeah, it's just a matter of like learned behavior, pretty much. The idea is that your parents did something, and so they learned that was the right way to do it, and then they never shut up about it, and nothing else can ever change because life doesn't change, as we all know. Actually, nothing has changed since 1812. My favorite iteration of this was when my parents used to tell me that nothing was new in life, and that they would give me the example by being like, well, even people in ancient Greece had tablets, and it used to always piss me off to some extent because I was like, technology is new. Tablets are named after ancient Greek tablets with the same format, yes, because we didn't create a new name for them called Fizzy Wicked Sucky Rockets or whatever. But this is fundamentally not the exact same thing, and I don't know why you refuse to catch up with the times. Hello? Come to modern times. The come to Brazil meme, but it's me talking to a boomer and holding a piece of technology and being like, come to modern times. A lot of the things that we do habitually is that, to be honest. Like, I'm pretty sure there are things that you got from your parents that I'm pretty sure there are things you got from your parents that you still do, and it was passed down from their parents. I mean, looks are subjective. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Hello. Looks are subjective. I think if they want to look a certain way, they want to look a certain way. I really have no basis to tell you anything else. Like, that's a whole different ballpark of like how you think someone should look and how someone else feels that they should look. And to that effect, a lot of people do try to look a way that like trends dictate, but I think that's more of just like natural insecurity than like being told that you should. One of the things that happened to me the other day that I find to be a great shining example of this is that I was scrolling through Twitter and somebody was talking about a VTuber who was showing their hands, and then they started talking about how men hands look different from women hands, and women are supposed to have Sorry, I can hear when you're talking, so I instinctively stop. But they were talking about how men have short, square fingers and women have long, rounded fingers, and fingernails, and their fingers are longer and slenderer, and like they don't have as like chubby hands, and it created a new insecurity for me. It was crazy. It was crazy because I didn't have that before, and that was a discussion that mainly was involving men, but. Yeah, just in general. And now I'm like, yeah, supposed to have, because on a fundamental level, as somebody who, you know, has studied medicine, that's like kind of BS a little bit. Like, yes, bone structural wise, these are like some general things that can help identify women, but just genetics wise, there's no fucking guarantee that that'll happen, right? There is no guarantee that that'll happen. Genetically, no, there's no guarantee. There's so many things that change based off that. For example, the long rounded nail beds. Well, I think whatever weirdo is judging the gender of a person based off their nails is destroying women and men. But yeah, I don't. It wasn't a social media post. It was somebody who saw a VTuber hand cam and was judging their hand cam. Like, I don't think the VTuber asked for this. Like, I don't think she asked. But did you know actually the length and shape of your nail beds can change based off of the how often you keep your nails trimmed or short, or if you bite them or stuff? So you'll notice that, yeah, men can have shorter, stubbier nail beds, but a lot of the time that's because men keep their nails like really short and don't allow them to grow out. If you let your nails grow out, that can help extend your nail bed by quite a bit. Like, your nail bed naturally can get shorter over time. So when they say that women have longer, rounder like nail beds, this is because a lot of women either, one, take really good care of their nails, or two, don't work in places where they would need to, their nail would sustain enough damage for them to have long-term shorter nails, right? Like, even nurses who keep their nails short and rounded, they have to keep their nails clean, and so their nails are normally still like a certain level of done up, that is, right? And so it's like, yes, but no. Yes, but no, right? But it created like a little bit of an insecurity in me because, well, I do like to do a lot of like tinkering with stuff, and it causes my nails to break off. I wasn't planning to do hag ASMR in the future. The next ASMR that I was thinking about putting out had to do with like friend's mother climbs into your bed. Real concept, you know, and it was gonna be uh like she climbs into bed and is like, you remember when we used to cuddle when you were a kid? You've grown into such a nice, handsome young man now. Ugh. I just felt like that could have been pretty creepy. Gave me the kikis and the kakas. Although my recording ability recently has been pretty low, so I'll see how that turns out when I go to record it. But yeah, that's what was on my mind recently. But yeah. It'd be nice if I could actually get it to pan out. Nah, I need to start laughing like heh 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 heh. So I was reminded and inspired by this Wattpad original book when I was a kid that I think was called like My Mother's Best Friend or something, and it featured like a guy who came back from like college. It was told from the point of view of the mother's friend, by the way. It was definitely like a book for middle-aged women. And I just really loved those middle-aged adult stories, you know, but it was told from her perspective, and basically her best friend's son had come back into like town, and he had like, I mean, he wanted her bad. He was down. Yeah, he was down atrocious. Good God. I've seen less thirsty men in deserts. I have seen people on the front lines, dehydrated, no water, with less thirst, quenching their vein or clenching on their veins and sapping. Dude, but he was down bad. I mean, he like, I think, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, like one of the first things he does when he comes back is like pin her against the hood of her Corvette or something. Yeah, I personally don't live by that doctrine. I don't do shit that other people think I should or should not do. Why? Because I'm already miserable. The fuck I'm gonna be more miserable because you think I should do this for? Excuse me? I didn't want to be alive in the first fucking place. Let alone live my life by your standards. The fucky? Well, okay. Well, listen. Because it only got worse. Oh, I don't remember. I read this when I was like 12. This was no time recent. This, like, honestly, I shit you not, I could not tell you even if I looked. But it was like a Wattpad book, right? That I picked up, and I was like, oh no, I just thought it could have been interesting. And so basically after that, like, I don't remember, but a lot of Wattpad stories back then contain these scenes, which has reminded me, has made me think, man, I'm a life failure. I just want to stop. Basically, a lot of stories back then would contain this scene where characters would be watching movies on the couch and somebody would be on the other couch and there would be some freaky shit happening. I'm talking unholy. I'm talking, when they said leave room for Jesus, I mean, there was no Jesus involved. I feel they were just leaving room, no Jesus. But basically, the friend, I don't know if this was the night that they came back or later, but they had like a dinner together, and under the table, he's like playing footsie with her or some damn shit, which I really feel grossed out by it, remembering it, because why were so many why were so many stories involving these footsie scenes? But then once we got past our mandatory footsie scenes, right? They go to watch a movie, and her best friend's son are sitting on the couch, and she's talking about how fine he is, just absolutely going on and on and on about it. And I'm like, God damn, okay, we get it. You want to ride. Right, you wanna ride. Anyways, so, oh my gosh, ooh, my foot is itchy, sorry. After a while, apparently he getting handsy. I mean, his hands are taking a trip. And where are they taking a trip to? The Japanese cat island. Minus the Japanese. No Japanese. and she's like trying to brush him off. And yet his hands are traveling. They going north for the winter. And the mother's friend, the mother herself is like, oh man, completely oblivious somehow, because she does become aware later, and the writer makes it obviously clear that she was not aware prior to that point. The mother is like, oh man, I'm so tired. You two don't stay up too late now, right? It's like, you don't stay up too late. And then No, north to Cat Town. Population one. One very, very hairy cat. Anyways, um, so she leaves and like there's so much stuff going on because it was a Wattpad novel made for middle-aged women who were sexually repressed. I don't know. Shit. Um, and so she's like, this is so wrong, and he's practicing his guitar stringing. He's really strumming those chords, I'll tell you. And she, what? Yeah. Yeah, she wasn't expecting to get no touching tonight, I guess, but yeah. Yeah. So I was really inspired by that. I felt that the premise was strong. However, I think there's a scene where he climbs the her bed, not the other way around. I'd have to go deliberately out of my way to find that, and I'm not finding that. I'm not reading it again. I'm pretty sure the novel itself was probably like ass. Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, definitely, definitely. But yeah, that was pretty much the whole entire novel. And so I felt a little inspired by that. I don't really want to go back to read it just to make sure I'm being accurate, because I'm pretty sure that's cringe as fuck. And young me needed some fucking therapy for the type of shit that I was reading, but it is what it is. You guys have distracted me from my nothing interesting. I'm going to return to nothing interesting. You're the younger man. Hmm. What are you angry about? I mean, I can remember the general plot of a lot of things I read when I was younger. I was dedicated to my shit novels, dude. I was just talking about how I watched a whole analysis on Angel Engine, but I also watched Takopi's Original Sin and then watched an analysis on that as well. Just because the original one is so like convoluted a little bit, and so I went back and just made sure that I really understood it. Oh, I don't know. I was gonna do Disturbed. I was gonna do more of like, why are you in my bed? Do you guys remember when life hacks were actually useful? Me neither. It was a rough watch. It was a rough watch. Lack of inspiration has never been my problem. I could draw inspiration from a stone and a rock. The issue is that the recordings have been coming out very unenthused. I like to think that I do a semi-good job at putting emotion into whatever I'm doing. However, just like how I'm talking now, that's how a lot of my recordings have been coming out. Which is bad, because I'm supposed to be conveying emotions. But the only emotion I'm conveying right now is that straight face emoji. In fact, I'd argue that I have very little going on in the way of emotions right now, because I'm inspecting my nails. Okay, well, that was an emotion. Confusion. Confusion as to how I broke my nail. Oh, thank you. I like to put out good quality work. Right now, nothing I'm recording is good quality. So I just haven't uploaded anything. I do need to get members done first. Members and Patreon. And that's an issue. Yeah. Yeah. I have to wonder what the absolute state of the internet is presently, modern day, modern times. I feel that it is rotted, and I have rotted with it. Currently, I'm watching a video of two men with tape on their chests and string attached to the tape. For first comfort. I'm happy to be around you. I just, like, I don't have enough energy to express my emotions. So I'm sitting here and I'm like dead in the face. Of course, I can express anger, but I feel like I have a different reserve for anger, that something can make me angry easily, like, which is not good for my ASMR, unless you want ASMR, like you listen to me rant for like 30 minutes about some shit. Hello, bitch? What the fuck? Ow. I like was scratching on the side of my nose and I cut my nose with my nail. Ow. I'm in pain and you're laughing. Cruel. Bleh. Bleh. I don't know if it's the heat. Oh, the men with tape on their nipples? Probably. No, I have a cut on my nose and it hurts. No, I cut my face. Oh, man. It's okay. It's not bleeding much. It was a shallow cut, but still. Blech. Blech. Oh my god. Turned into a creaking door. There's this YouTuber, TikToker, shorts content creator who I've recently been seeing, and what she does is she reads the ingredient label on snacks that are popular, and then she pours all the ingredients unmixed into a cup, and then she just basically stares at it like, wow, this is what you're putting in your body. Ma'am, we've been ingesting microplastics since birth. If you could please be quiet. I'm not going to die from eating flaming hot Cheetos. Stop showing me how much sunflower oil is in a bag. Oh, maltodextrin. Oh my god. Oh, what's gonna happen? Oh, my food's gonna be more shelf stable. Oh my god. What do you mean to tell me my food isn't 2 ingredients and rotting before I'm even putting it in my mouth? What are you talking about? Truly annoys me. Oh my gosh. I just think it's so stupid when people do that, because I feel like it doesn't do anything to actually help people change their eating habits. It's the equivalent of when people were talking about how McDonald's chicken nuggets weren't real chicken nuggets, but instead were like pink meat slurry, and everybody was like, yeah, I'm going to eat the pink meat slurry still. Like, nobody gives a fuck. Thank you so much for showing us what we didn't care about in the first place. Oh my god. I feel like, and I feel like it's even worse because almost any food could be like done like that and made to look bad if you do it like that. I don't know. I find it so annoying. I've always find it really annoying when like super health conscious people are like, can you pronounce all the names of the ingredients inside your food? Then maybe you shouldn't be eating it. Okay, well, I can pronounce xanthan gum, so maybe I should only eat xanthan gum for the rest of my life. Like, what are you talking about? It's more frustrating when you realize that this can only happen in America, because America's one of the few countries that make you list every fucking ingredient in something, plus the ingredients in the ingredients. Like, you can't just write down bread. Yeah, literally. I don't know. It's just something that I don't know. It just makes me upset. I just really would prefer if they didn't do stuff like that. I don't know. There are better ways to promote healthy eating. Oh my goodness. Brr, I'm freezing. Oh my god. It's so cold in here. But if I turn off the AC, it's gonna be hot in here. You know what's really disturbing to me and scares me a little bit? Ask me what? Ask me, Vin, what's disturbing and scares you a little bit? Yeah, no, this is way better. I would prefer being cold like this. Brrr, I'm freezing. uh Is this that time to say that I've forgotten what I was going to say? You're gonna have to tell me what I was saying before I... Because I forgot. I'm sorry, honey, I forgot. I don't remember what I was talking about. Oh. Oh, man. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I've forgotten. I don't know. I don't know. Yes, I just don't remember. Okay. Fudge-a-wudge-a, sludge-a-wudge-a. I truly do not remember. Oh no, I saw something that was like disturbing me, but I don't remember what it was. No, what do I do? What do I do? Oh man. Yeah, I don't remember. I'm so sorry. Yeah, but I want to tell you because I like sharing my blights with you. I like sharing my random fucking blights with you. Ooh. Hey, at least you know I can never stay mad at you because I literally will forget what I'm mad about. True story, by the way. Ah, you don't have to praise me. That's You're so silly. Ew. Oh my god, what the fuck is the what? What? Ew. What? I'm gonna describe to you this video I'm watching, and I just want you to be as confused by what's going on as I'm doing it. Let's play the world's worst game of telephone, right? On his wedding day, a groom is holding down his pants, and another assuming groomsman snips the back of his pants. He pulls out a hose, shoves the hole in his pants, and pulls it out through the hole that's now in the back crack of his pants. He puts a funnel in it and then pours Hershey's cocoa powder into the funnel that's sticking out of the front of his pants and connected to the back of his pants. And he continues shoving Hershey's powder down it. Okay. He's using a funnel to pour it down more effectively. And now he has a hose in the back of his pants that's aimed up and a hose sticking out the front of his pants that he's still shoving Hershey's chocolate through. And now his suit is really dusty. And his bride has noticed that he has a tube coming out of his ass. So she's asking what's going on and pretending not to see the very obvious hose that's from the front of his pants. And now she's trying to, I don't know, inspect the hose. And now on her wedding day, while she's in her wedding gown that's white, he blew cocoa powder into her face and over her hair. I would kill you. I would take my hands. She was looking away apparently. It was really something that I really have just seen that video. Literally. Your life would stop. You would not get another chance. He blew cocoa powder into her face, and then what was it? All over her hair and her wedding dress where she was supposed to marry him. And they laughed it off, but I wouldn't laugh it off. I would take your life. You wouldn't live to see our wedding day. That just wouldn't happen. Where do I put this? Sorry, I'm trying to put away these snacks. Don't tell me you think I'm Hispanic too. Please don't tell me you think I'm Hispanic. I have some bad news for you. You too. Oh, thank God. Oh, okay. Ew. Yeah, some people think that. It's not uncommon. Yeah, it's not uncommon. I hate modern day skits where they don't trust you to be intelligent, so they just do stupid shit. Also, it's just disgusting, disturbing, and makes me uncomfortable. Why is this skit the joke for this whole skit that he's like fingering her in front of her like sisters or his sisters? No, her sisters. Okay. And the lights are on and there's no sheets on anybody. And one girl is wearing one of the poster girl dresses. Oh, the lights are finally off. Okay. There's so much weird stuff happening. Um, my algorithm is just scrolling, dude. I literally don't do anything to get what I'm seeing. Like I don't search anything up. I don't want to watch anything in particular. I always get weird stuff on my feed. Yeah. I went from that weird ass video to some kind of funny Minecraft content. Well, currently I'm watching a silly little Minecraft video. Hi. I don't understand. I'm so sorry. Ooh, why is that door so rusty? I got tetanus looking at this. I just don't think life hacks were ever useful. Man. They turned his face into an ear. Hmm. I'm gonna miss the old cartoons, the old hand animated cartoons. Mm. It's not frozen. The camera has to catch my face, but it is not able to catch my face right now. Honestly, his is the most realistic life hack I've ever heard in my life, and I think about it on the daily, truly. Yeah. You can hear me fine because my face is near the microphone, but not the camera. Good night. Aw, thank you. Mwah! Rest well. Get plenty of rest. Whoa! Pomni fat fetish art is something I didn't expect to see today. Oh, and they're animating it jiggle. That's so nice. Recently, there's this jiggle animator thing called Purry Purry make Puru Puru. Excuse me. Puru Puru Maker, and it's been getting popular. But it turns out that it's like AI, and people have been trying to get others to stop using it, but they just won't. Yeah. Hmm. Dun, 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 dun. The jiggle jiggle physics, yeah. If like anime became real tomorrow and we could get one anime attribute from like it would have to be from like 90% of anime, right? If you could get one common anime attribute and put it into the real world, what would it be? It can be any attribute. Do you guys ever think about how if the world actually did go to shit, people who were recreationally doing things like whittling tools and going camping, they would be thriving and surviving. Oh, speaking of thriving and surviving, I recently had my inhaler or my not my inhaler, my asthma no, my nebulizer. That's what it was. I recently had my nebulizer break and I had to go because it broke off at the like wall part, like one of the prongs broke off in the wall, and I had to get another one. And so I ended up buying a portable one because that was the only one the store had at the time, and I wasn't gonna go to the medical store. It was already kind of late at night, and so like forget, like assuming it's not like a zombie apocalypse or anything, right? You know, just like a regular like life ending event. Like it's, I don't know. I don't know. But not something that's like, you know, active ongoing ending stuff. Like just regular apocalypse things, you know. Maybe an asteroid struck in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean and, you know, we're all feeling the effects of it and it caused an environmental shift. Like, the people who would not be cooked are like people who recreationally go hiking, right? Or like people who are like homesteaders for fun. Did you say hi or what? Boy, I can't see your message. I am also very much so looking away from the chat interface. You guys are talking in my ear, if you wanted to know. I will never understand why people get so upset when they use like AI and then artists don't want to work with them. Like, what if you plug my shit into AI? What are you talking about? Of course I don't want to work with you. No, I'm gonna die immediately. Like, because of myself. Cause of death, me. Mm. I know for a fact I wouldn't survive. That's the issue. I don't have the health to survive. Even if I have an interest in outdoors and sportsy stuff, like the issue stands that my health is worsened by hot weather, cold weather, and like general existence of pollen. And so it's like it doesn't matter what happens if the seasons change, if the weather changes, if the wind blows up some goddamn dust in my face, I'm gonna be sickly. That's on top of if people get like bad. School Days Remastered. Man, I wouldn't make it a few seconds. The minute they announced it, you better believe. Yeah, it works really good. Literally. Truthfully, I've not had like a serious asthma attack or really any asthma attack recently, so I can't test it. What? Yeah, you're right. You're right. Um, I haven't got a chance to test it for real because I've not had any asthma attacks, but it seemingly does work, right? So I put fluid in it, I turned it on, it turned the fluid into a vapor that I can breathe in through my lungs. So that's a positive, right? That's a success. That works. Uh-oh. Oh man, nope, nope, nope. Oh well, it happens. Did you really get fired? Are you okay? Are you serious? Oh my god, I'm so sorry. No, but that's bad. Are you gonna be okay? Are you okay? No, I'm concerned. Okay. Well, I'm okay. Just well, I was cold, but now it's hot in here. And yeah. I'm not silly. I'm over here and I'm Silent Hill X Higurashi no Koro ni. Oh, don't make me sick. I might not. Please. I'm a girl. I'm just a girl. Ah. Please. Oh. $92. Hello? I'm a peasant. I cannot afford that. Never mind. I will keep my nut in my pants, but okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. It's just a bundle. It's just a bundle. It's not like they put Higurashi no Koro ni in Silent Hill, which would have made me so sickened. Like, angry kitty. I love the kitty. Oh, so cute. Oh man, I love kitties. Oh, kitties. Oh, kitties. Oh, kitties. They're kitties. They're kitties. Everyone should be forced to surrender. It's not fair. Other people in the world get to have them, and I cannot kiss their faces. Oh my god. No. Cease your actions, vile thing. I simply hate you. I can't wait to Halloween, kitty. You don't understand. I'm seeing so many cute kitty videos. The video I'm looking at right now is a cat being held up to a door cam. And the cat's like licking its face and just existing as a cute little kitty. It looks so stupid too. Oh, I love when cats look like they have 3 total brain cells and none of them are working. Oh my god. I actually did read Umineko. It's really funny that you mentioned that because I accidentally watched Umineko not knowing that it was like made by the same person and was confused when it was. Cats are the only thing that can save us. Cats are our true salvation. Oh my gosh. I hope that whatever. Oh, it looks so stupid. Oh, I love cats. I hope whatever afterlife there is, I get to go to the one filled with cute kitties. Hi, honey. Yes. I can tell you what my least favorite cat is, though. Sphinxes. I hate sphinxes. I think the sphinxes are the ugliest little ratchet, disgusting little things. They are rat-like in nature and inherently scare me. Oh, so freaky. Ooh, I hate a Sphinx. But I do love every other breed of cat. Oh, they're so stinky and cute. Except for Sphinxes. Do you not have cats? Or do you just have a cat that sees you like that? When I had my cats, they couldn't leave me alone. They literally would spend so much time cuddling with me. I hate them. I'm so sorry. My last cat was part Maine Coon. His name was Micah. See that right there? Disgusting. What do you mean they need a skincare routine? Disgusting. No, I don't like them. He was a very large boy. He would bully me with his size. If I wanted him to do something and he didn't want to do it, he would flop over and then he would turn into like a liquid. And no matter how you tried to pick him up, he would always slide out of your hands because no matter how you picked him up, his weight would like shift to one side because he was so large. Because they have no fur, I find them distressing looking. Ah, I hope that cat likes the taste of fingers. Your cat getting a taste of fingers. I just love kitties. I do. But my cat was very stinky and he wouldn't leave me alone and he flopped over on me all the time. And he was ugly from certain lightings. And his breath was stinky. And he couldn't do a lot of exercise because he was lazy. And also he couldn't jump very high. Because apparently Maine Coons are not a jumping species of cat. Which, yeah, that's fair. He was not a climbing species either. He was more of a burrowing type. And he loved sniffing my clothes, and he was a dirty little pervert thing. And I loved him, and I'm sad that he is not with us anymore. Also, for the first, like, year of his life, he didn't know how to clean his own butthole properly. One of my cats found out sort of how to open doors, and I was grateful I had knobs, and yeah. He wasn't genetically modified. He wasn't. I can guarantee you that for sure, because I had his mother. But he was just part, he was just he was just a big cat. According to the vet, when I talked to the vet, like Maine Coons in general are not like a species of cat that prefer to be up high. They're mainly, or I'm sorry, not a species, but a breed of cat that prefer to be up high. They prefer to be down. Maine Coons are cats who are mostly like preferring to be closer to the ground. I don't think that they were bred that way. They're just big cats. They're just big cats who are like, I don't think the trees are for me because I'm big. Um, it really depends on what cat you get. Oh, yeah. You know, they're just like dogs in the sense that they don't really have any self-control. Yeah, he was a chill little guy when he wasn't being a clingy little pervert. He used to make biscuits on my chest and butt like a pervert. He would come climb on top of me while I was laying on my stomach, sniff my butt, and then like start kneading it. It doesn't make sense why he was a pervert. I judge him every day he's alive, by the way. Or I judged him every day while he was alive. I don't think so. I think my cat was a weirdo. I'm I'm pretty sure my buns are already baked enough. He didn't have to come knead them. They didn't need any more Didi. I don't think so. I think he was an asshole. He is, what the fuck. I think I used to complain about him a lot because I was like, this damn cat is like a weirdo pervert. If I was laying on my front, he would like climb on top of me and like sniff around my like lower tummy. I'm like, where are you sniffing? He was also a filthy little pit sniffer too. So gross. But yeah, I loved him. I miss him. He was a kitty. He was just a baby. He was ugly as hell when you looked at him in the light. But when you were looking at him outside of the light, he was just a baby. Yeah, but dogs are known for being rude and perverted and weird. Like, I'm not expecting dogs to be like normal. Yeah, I know. My animal had no tact. Even if he knew that I was sick, he had no tact. He lived to be right in my face all the time, 100% of the time. He had a brother and he was still in my face all the time, 100% of the time. Sometimes sticking his butthole in there too, bro. Just never leaving me alone. Never a dull moment with that stinky boy. I miss him. I think he was just a weirdo. He did. He did love me. He loved me a lot. I miss my stinky man. He used to like climb on my leg. He used to like climb on my leg to try to get my attention. and then I would not turn over, like I would bend down to pick him up and lift his front paws and put my arms back there and lift him by that. And he would just like dangle there until I held him. And then he would give me little hugs with his little cat body. I'm not sure he understood what a hug was, but I think he knew that I liked them and that he was getting pets and that it meant that there was love happening. I think objectively, very, very rarely did he not want love. Like, he almost always wanted love. He almost always wanted cuddles. Sometimes he just wanted to be in the room where, um, sometimes he just wanted to be in the room where people were. And he was so friendly. He was a shy little stinky friendly boy who, I don't know. He was just a good boy. He was a good boy. I miss my cat. Um, Based off of more recent cat studies, they show that they're like fairly decent at understanding like what like the concept of what something is supposed to do. Like they know when you kiss them that you're showing love. They know that when you hug them, that's also your way of like showing love. Oh, give me the cat. Don't make me get the gun. Give me the cat. Um, they definitely don't understand it like humans do, but they do understand that you are expressing a fondness for them, I guess. They don't know what's happening, but they know you love them. I'm sorry, I'm so sad. Just thinking about it. I miss my cat. I think I should have loved him more. I think about all the times that I didn't love him more because I was doing other stuff and I was busy or I got home from work or I just wanted to go to sleep. And I regret it a little bit. I should have loved him more. Yeah. I miss my cat. I'm gonna end the stream now, guys. You take good care of yourself. Mwah. 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 I love you. I appreciate
appreciate you. You light up my life.
Thanks for spending time with me today.